My hair is wild this morning. Oh, I'm not wearing pants again today, so I'm trying not to flash you. Good morning. Welcome back to the corner. My name is Leigh. This is the corner of my studio slash yarn room where I sit and talk to you about crafty things. And I feel like it has been a minute. It is currently 8:30 in the morning, so a little bit early. A little bit early for me to be filming, but I have to go to work today and I wanted to film. It's been overdue. I've been meaning to film, and my work schedule has been a little bit crazy. I went kind of full-time and we got a new employee, so schedules changed up and I was just working. Like, I didn't want to film when I got home because the light was no good after work, and then over the weekend they were my days off and Brad and I did some fun stuff and it was good. I'll update in life stuff, I guess. Yeah, it's been a minute, so I wanted to film today. I have lots of things to talk about today, including some really exciting new cast-ons, a really exciting FO. I'm real hype about it. And no acquisitions? No acquisitions. Nope, that's not true. I do have some acquisitions, just not yarn acquisitions. That's also not true. I have one acquisition. I gotta go get it. Hold. Oh, hello. I am back with my acquisition and the boy followed me in. He's so cute. Oh no. Why you want to be in my lap? You're too heavy. No, we're not licking. I also have a cross stitch update for you today. I have actually been working on my cross stitch, so stop. And I've done enough that I think you'll be able to see the difference, so I will show that today. My coffee is fresh and hot and I'm very excited about it. Okay, let's just jump right in. I have one FO. Is that right? I feel like I finished more things than that. Ooh. I did finish more things than that. Let's see what we got here. All right, I have 2 more FOs that I need to go grab. Oh, ill prepared. I think we're actually good now. I have 3 FOs to show you today. Ah, 3! This is why I have some new cast-ons, I guess. Let's get started. My first FO I'm gonna show you is, let's get serious here, my blue supermoon socks. I finished these bad boys. They are so cute, so beautiful, so soft. I love how these turned out with no contrast or anything. Super cute. This is a yarn from X Libris Fibers, Rita, and the color is called Blue Supermoon. This is just a regular sock base, the Soul Knit base, which is a 75/25 superwash merino nylon. And she dyed this color specifically for my local yarn shop, and I, of course, had to get a skein and knit up a pair of socks out of it because I do that for every color she dyes for my local yarn store. I have quite a collection. So those are done. I knit these for me. They are 64 stitches. They're just vanilla socks. I did a 2x2 cuff on these and no contrast. That's it. There's a project page for these. Next FO. Both of my other 2 FOs are very exciting. I'm so happy. Okay. All right, my next FO is my Forest Keys vest. She is done. I can kind of see through the fabric, so I know that it's like in frame. Although I don't know how well you can hear me. It is beautiful. It smells really good. I started a new bar of Tuft Woolens and it smells delicious. But this is my Forest Keys vest. It's done. It was lingering so long, almost finished, and I finally decided that I was going to just finish it. And I picked it up And what happened was I finished knitting the entire vest and finished this I-cord bind off at the bottom. And then you were supposed to finish around the neck and the sleeve holes as well with the I-cord bind off. But the way she describes to do the I-cord bind off in the pattern was not hitting for me. I was trying to do it per the pattern, and I finally just gave up, and I didn't want to do it. So I gave up. I ripped out what I had done of the neck, because I'd gotten, I think, about halfway across the neck. And then just did a regular I-cord bind off like I am used to doing, which is picking up all of the stitches around and then binding off, rather than picking up as I go and binding off, which is what she describes to do. So that went so much faster. I finished it in like a day after that, and now she is done. She is beautiful. She is blocked, and oh boy, the difference in the feel of this fabric before and after blocking is incredible. I knew it would block dramatically differently, but it's just so nice to have it done, you know? This yarn is Biche Bouche Le Petit Lamb's Wool. See this drape? It doesn't weigh anything. It's so light, so airy. It will be super warm because it's so airy, and it's just so nice. It is the fingering weight, so it's Le Petit Lamb's Wool. And the two colors I used were dark gold for the main color. Let's get a nice juicy close-up of that color. Dark gold. And then the contrast color was red orange. Oh, it's got this beautiful color work across the shoulders that goes all the way across the back. And then the color work goes all the way around the bottom of the vest. And then I also did it is optional in the pattern, but there is an intarsia medallion in the center. I did it. And there is an assortment of little keys that you can choose to put in the middle of your little medallion, and I chose this one. I love how it turned out. So much. It is the kind of garment that's like sleeveless and has a really open neckline, but it's still going to be really warm. So I'm trying to wait to wear it until it's a little bit cooler outside. It has been cooling off. Do I have a phone somewhere? Oh yes, here. Let's see what the temperature is today. I'm in Pittsburgh, PA though. Did I say that? I don't know if I said that. For context of weather, it is 57 degrees outside. The high is 71. So that's actually pretty good today. I could wear this today. I knit the size 4, but the modified size 4, she had done all of her sizes and then during testing added some intermediate sizes. And I did the 4 intermediate second size. So it's just a little bit smaller than the standard size 4 in the pattern. Just by about like 2 inches or something. And it fits me perfectly. It actually fits me perfectly right now, which is me at my larger size. I am currently trying to get back down to a previous weight that I was about this time last year. So it'll be like drapey and loose on me when I lose that, when I get back down to that size. It's done. Long time, lingering whip, done. My last FO. I wanted to finish this project so badly because the hype has been building for the Stephen West Mystery Knit Along that happens every October. He released all of his information about it. I have been on the fence on whether or not I want to participate this year, but I knew that if I did decide I wanted to participate, that I would need to finish this project before I could participate. Oh, my stepmom is calling me. I'll have to call her back in a bit. Yes, I wanted to finish this in case I decided I wanted to start the Mystery Knit Along. It was time for this to be finished anyway, so it's fine. It worked out. But I finished my fragmentation shawl. Did you just hear my stomach? It is talking. I did it. I finished it. I finished my fragmentation shawl. I blocked it. It also smells really delicious. This thing is huge. It is so big. I knew it was going to be big. I've said it as I was knitting it that I thought it was going to end up being really big after blocking. It is 8 feet wide. 8 feet. 8 feet across. When I put it over my shoulders, it hangs down almost to the floor. It hangs down to like my shins and covers my butt at the same time. It is big. She is done. This is the center here, the center tab. So I'm gonna keep her folded in half. But this is the center spine width here. And then this is how far she goes out. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. It's soft, it's big, it's everything I wanted in a shawl. If I were to wear it like a scarf, like how I often wear my shawls, it's going to be huge, huge, huge. Ooh, it goes down really far. All points are in my lap now. Oh, so warm and cozy. The yarn I used, I knit this, oh, by the way, I knit this exactly to pattern. It is the Fragmentation by Stephen West. I knit it exactly to pattern. I did not change the needle size. I did not modify anything. It is exactly as he says to knit it. And I knit mine out of 7 different colors of Coast to Coast Yarn Co. Mush Club colors. I did the original Mush Club where I actually like subscribed for the year and I got a color every month. And I did the MCN base, which was the Merino Cashmere Nylon. And these are my 7 colors. I did Polypore, Understory, Gymnopolis, Foraging Gold. This is Amethyst Deceiver, Laetoporus, and Shiitake are my 7 colors. It's done. I don't think there's anything else I need to say about this. So many good FOs. Knocking things off the list. All right, FOs are done. Whips. Let's do a quick update on a couple of whips that you have seen before and then talk about all of my new cast-ons because I have a few. And by a few, I mean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, that is quite a few. All right, I'm in the clear. Told Kim that I would, my stepmom, that I would call her back in like half an hour. So I have half an hour to finish this episode, which I think is doable. We're already, you know, 15 minutes in. All right, so the first whip I'm gonna show you is just a really quick little update. I have been working on the Daybreak socks are the other ones, After Hours socks by Lily Kate France. These are a pair that I started during summer sock camp and then did not finish for summer sock camp, but I have been making sure to keep them handy so that I have been working on them a little bit. I have both socks going at the same time. I'm working on them in tandem on separate needles, but am past the heel on both of them. So I feel like they're close enough to being done that I need to get them done. So this is one sock. I am about this far down the foot. And then I'm a little bit farther on this one, about this far down the foot. This one I think I'm just over halfway down the foot, so that's exciting. And these look like this on the front. They're this really nice eyelet texture. Let me stick a hand in there. Really cute. And a short row heel, really nice. The yarn is, I do have a tag in here. Essence of Autumn yarn. And the color is called Pearl of Cortez. And the yarn is an 80/20 superwash merino nylon. This base is so nice to work with. It's not a 2-ply 80/20. Oh wait, yeah it is. It is a 2-ply 80/20, but it's not as high twist as other 2-ply 80/20s. It's a little bit smoother. It's just really nice. I love knitting with this yarn base. I have quite a few skeins of Essence of Autumn yarn in my stash as well, and this makes me want to knit up more of them. So yes, that is Pearl of Cortez. It is a pink white, it's a white base with pink and blue and like these olivey green speckles in it. It's really cute. So I've been working on those. Can we also talk about how perfectly this yarn matches the bag I picked? Look at that. This is a Woodsy and Wild project bag from several years ago. So nice. Perfect match. So that's the first whip that you have seen before. The only other whip that I've actively worked on that you have seen before is not in this bag, my egg bag, because it doesn't fit in the bag anymore. But in here I have my Lodge sweater, my Lodge Biozetta that I started out of Barocco Ultra Wool. This is the yarn I'm using. It is Barocco Ultra Wool. It is a 100% superwash merino worsted weight, and it is very, is it merino? It's 100%, no, it's not merino. I was gonna say it doesn't feel like merino. It is 100% superwash wool and does feel a little bit more rustic than merino, which I really like. This color is called Orange, and it is the main color, and I'm doing stripes of these 3 colors. I am doing the color Raspberry, Lemon, and Nasturtium. My contrast colors. And I am on the second sleeve. I'm almost done. Look at it. Oh, it's so good. I finished a sleeve number 1. This is a drop shoulder design, so the sleeve looks kind of short, but I knit it so that it is long enough to wear rolled at the cuff. So it will look like this when worn, and it is the perfect length when worn like this. Oh, it's so good. The body is nice and square and has these really dramatic side slits with a little bit of a rib detail up the side. Very nice. I love this pattern. This is the second one of these that I have knit. The first one I knit as in the pattern in just 1 color, and then this one I am obviously doing stripes. I did shorten the collar on this one. The last one I did the full mock neck, so it was probably twice as long as this. I did shorten the collar on this one just a hair, and I hope I like it. This is a superwash wool, so I'm expecting it to grow a little bit after blocking, so I am still a little bit unsure about the fit. I didn't really want to bother blocking it halfway. If it is a little bit tight, I'll just block it more aggressively. So that is where I'm at. I'm on the second sleeve here, about this far. I have how many stripes on the sleeves? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 contrast stripes, and I have 1. But like I said, it is worsted weight. It will go really fast. I really just didn't work on this very much. So it's been sitting untouched for like a week. But I pulled it out this morning, and I think I'm going to just try to muscle through and get this finished, because it is so close. And it's fall, so the knitting mojo's back, and I have new things I want to knit. Quite frankly, my sock knitting mojo is back, and I have been wanting to cast on all the socks, so I need to make room for that in my life. That's it for whips you've seen before, except for the cross stitch, but I'll save that for last. All of my other knitting whips are new cast-ons. New cast-ons! I have 4 new sock cast-ons. I wanted to start spooky socks because it's the season. On September 1st, I said I want to cast on some socks. So I did. I actually cast on 3 pairs of socks on September 1st. I caked up and cast on 3 projects in 3 little Halloween bags that I made for myself. I made these 2 last year, and I made this one this year. This one has skeletons and has a little cross fabric on the inside. This one is glittery spider webs with Halloween stripes on the inside, and the base of this one is actually the piece of a leg from a pair of jeans that I cut off. And then from this year, we have the Headless Horseman. And this just has a really bright tangerine orange lining. These black cord pulls. Let's look at what I cast on then, shall we? 2 of these are for me. The first one is, oh, there's another acquisition on here. Shit, I left the other one downstairs. I ordered 2 of these and I left one downstairs. Oh no. Anyways, in my Skelly bag, I have started a pair of socks for me, and I finished the first sock. It looks little. I finished the first sock. I have not started the second sock yet. I just finished this the other night and then got distracted. But this is what these look like. This is a Bad Sheep yarn in the color Coffee Hut, which is really just a fall yarn, not really Halloween. But it is super pretty. I did a 2x2 cuff. I did an extra long one on all of these socks, I think. I did 25 rounds of cuff for these. And then I did a 2x2 broken rib down the entire leg and top of the sock. And I think they turned out super nice. No contrasts or anything on these. I really like Bad Sheep yarns colorways without contrasts. I don't know what it is about it. Her yarn base is really fine. It's like a light fingering for sure. So I like to knit it at a little bit of a tighter gauge. And her colors are just so beautifully evenly distributed that I just think they look so nice without a contrast color. So I've been really enjoying knitting her colorways specifically without a contrast. And like I said, I have not cast on the second sock yet. But the progress keeper I was using to keep track of my stitches for this one is an acquisition that I forgot I ordered, and I will show you in acquisitions. So I took it off. So that was the first new cast on. The second new cast on in this bag is for Brad. These are a pair of socks for Brad using a colorway that I meant to buy several times and kept missing it. It kept selling out before I could get to it. And finally she restocked it just like a month or maybe like a month ago, and I caught it. So I got it. And this is a color from, do I have the tag in here? Yes. But this is a Nomadic yarn. I think she's probably my favorite self-striping yarn dyer. At least one of the top 2. And the colorway is called I'm Your Boyfriend Now, Nancy. And this is a Freddy Krueger Nightmare on Elm Street themed yarn. And this is the twist sock, which is 80/20 superwash merino nylon. I usually like to buy the Brit sock base from her for Brad, which is a BFL nylon blend, but she didn't have it in this colorway at the time. So I got this instead, and it will be fine. But it is beautiful. This is it. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's so good. It's got the red and the dirty green of his sweater. And then it's got these lime green black stripes in between his sweater that I think is just like a stylistic choice. And I'm obsessed with it. It's so, look at that green on camera. It's like making my eyes vibrate. It's so good. So beautiful. I am knitting these just vanilla socks, which is pretty brave, I think. I think I normally do rib socks for him, but I really just wanted this color to shine. We actually sat down, come on, you gonna focus? We actually just sat down the other day, there we go, and watched Nightmare on Elm Street, the first one. It was my first time. Brad used to watch it a lot as a kid, and Freddy Krueger was his like favorite baddie as a kid. So these are perfect for that. But yeah, I watched it for the first time. I had never seen it before, but this time of year, Brad likes to pick scary movies for us to watch together, because it's like the only time of year that I'm really down to watch scary movies. So we watch, you know, a couple a week, usually on days where we have the next day off. That is that. I'm knitting his 68 stitches, I think. The last pair of like fall themed socks I cast on are for me, and these are half finished. I finished one sock and have started the second sock. I think I'm almost at the heel. This is a sock set from Murray and Company Wool Goods, and the color is called This Wine is Awful, Get Me Another Glass, which is a Moira Rose quote from Schitt's Creek. This was a mystery sock set. She dyes a mystery sock set every month based on like a photo. This was one from last year. I can't remember when. Maybe like September, but it's from last year. And I love it. I finished the first sock. It is black and white speckles with these pops of lime green in it. Oh, and the contrast is this wine burgundy color. So that's what they look like. I finished the entire first sock. I did just a contrast toe and heel. And I did these with a 1x1 cuff. Wow, shocker. I don't usually do a 1x1, but it spoke to me, said it needed to be a 1x1. And then I did a sort of like scattered pearls texture on the body of the sock itself. So that is that. And then the second sock here is a bit tangled up. There we go. This far. I actually am almost to the heel because I am into the bit of stockinette on the back that I do before starting the heel. I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I only have 4 more rounds before the heel. So that's exciting. Very close. And that's those. These are, like I said, these are also for me. They're 64 stitches. There you go. Not using a formal pattern on any of these. Although I do think I'm going to cast on another pair of bond weave socks here soon because I miss it and I want to knit another pair. It's one of my favorites for almost vanilla knitting. And that's that. The last pair of socks to show you is not Halloween themed. I'd been knitting all of the like dark, moody colors and I needed some color. So I cast on a pair. This is in one of my new project bags that I made. This one is a kind of Scandi mid-century coffee and pastries themed fabric. So cute, I love it. I picked this yellow flower to go on the inside. And in here we have, I finally cast on one of my K-drama yarn clubs. I have several, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up here already. And then this was the 6th one I got, and I just wanted to cast it on. It was actually sitting downstairs, so it was in my eyesight, and I was like, I'm just gonna cast it on. So this is a yarn club from Bumblebee Acres. I actually missed August, and I'm really upset about it. So if anyone got August and doesn't want it, I will buy it from you. But this is Hometown Cha Cha Cha, which is the July colorway. And I get the Coquette sock base, which is a Corriedale nylon blend, and it is my favorite. It is very plump. So I'm actually knitting these differently than my normal vanilla. I have knit a pair of socks out of this yarn before once, and I did it on like my normal needle size and at my normal stitch count and all that kind of stuff. And it was just knitting up too tight for me. Like, it wasn't as pleasant to knit as I knew it could be. So for this pair, I sized up to a size 1.5 needle, and I am doing 60 stitches instead of 64. So my gauge is much looser and it is turning out perfectly. So I also am not using a pattern for this and have done a 1x1 cuff. But these are the colors. Oh, look at that. Look at that cuff. It is watercolor, that cuff. And then this is the contrast color, these little blue stripes. That's the contrast color. I'm doing 3 blue stripes here on the leg, and then I will do a toe, but I am not gonna do a contrast cuff. And yeah, this is how these are looking. They are, oh my gosh, so nice. It's really funny the difference in gauge that you can get with socks, because like, this is, like I said, only 60 stitches on a size 1.5 needle. And then this is the size of my Coffee Hut socks comparatively, which is a 64 stitch sock. They're lined up on this side here. And these are still this much bigger. Yeah, it's really funny, I think. Interesting to see. So I think this is definitely the way I will go for coquette sock base from now on. And it also knits up a little bit faster because it's fewer stitches, which is always really nice. All right, the only other new cast on I have is knot socks. I cast on a garment. This was definitely an on the whim kind of thing. I finished my fragmentation shawl. I knew I was getting close to finishing my lodge sweater. I said, why not? I feel like casting on something. So I just did. I have cast on a sweater that has been in my like queue, not formal, not like a Ravelry queue or anything, but in my mind, in my queue for a while. And this is Andrea Mowry's Birch Pullover. This has been so forefront in my mind that I actually had this printed out already, and it was like sitting around because I knew I wanted to cast it on fairly soon. This is an all over half fisherman's rib sweater. Just cozy, very basic, but classic, a very classic sweater for a wardrobe. I am knitting the size 4, which is the 45-inch bust circumference. It is intended to be worn with 0 to 6 inches of ease, positive ease. I think at 45 inches, that's probably about 0 inches of positive ease for me right now. It will just gain an appropriate amount of ease as I lose weight. So I am knitting this. Do I have a tag in here? I thought I did somewhere. I do. I am knitting this out of some Deep Stash Less Traveled Yarn. You are not going to be able to read this tag. It's like metallic. Less Traveled Yarn in the color Motherwort. There's also the info on the sock base. This is a 757 sock, which I think is a 75/25 superwash merino nylon. This was from the Enchantment collection, which was years ago, I think. And also Less Traveled Yarn doesn't dye yarn anymore. So that's wild. But this is what the color looks like. A very soft olive green color. I hope it doesn't make me look too pink, but it is very pretty. And this is how far I've gotten on it. Oh, I'm tangled up in my bag. Oh, by the way, this is in my town bag that I made. Finally, get some action from another project. This is what my Forest Keys vest was in and that was the only project it had had in it since I made it. So this is how far I am on my birch pullover. It's got this kind of mock neck sort of collar. Well, it looks like a mock neck right now. In the finished blocked photos, it really stretches out and becomes just kind of like a regular collar. And then this half fisherman's rib is so squishy and soft. It's got these nice wide raglan details. I love it so much. Doing short rows in half fisherman's rib definitely took some attention, but now that I'm just knitting in the round, I'm just doing the raglan increases now, just working in the round to the sleeve separation. It is pretty mindless. I got like 2 inches of this done just while I was at a knit group or a knit night on Saturday, and that's so nice. It's very lovely. I love working on it. There's just a little bit of variation in this yarn color, so you just get some like dark bits, but it's nothing too wild. The fisherman's rib, half fisherman's rib, softens that up a little bit too. Got wool up my nose. So yeah, that is that. I'm running out of memory on this card. What? Dang, it is time to reformat a memory card. All right, that's it for that. The only other whip I have to show you, which is the only other one I've actually worked on. We know I have more whips that I just haven't worked on. Sorry, let me put my stuff back in the bag or I will be lost without it. Cross stitch. Let's look at my cross stitch that I've been working on. I have, as always, been pulling out Death by Cross Stitch every once in a while and doing a little bit on it, but it will, I think I'm going to do like a 1 year or 6 month update on Death by Cross Stitch, and that's it. So this is the smaller cross stitch that I have been working on. It is in my Coco Knits Makers board that I am still obsessed with. In here, look at all my stuff. It's secure, it's just stuck in here. It's great, I love it. What's this called? Poisonous Plants? Yes, Poisonous Plants cross stitch by the Witchy Stitcher. And this is is there a picture of it in the pattern like finished? No, not really. I have finished the main green color that is all over everything, and I've started adding in other colors. So this is where I'm at. Look at it. I have made several mistakes, but I am doing my best to make them not very noticeable. I think I'm doing okay. That is my favorite thing about cross stitch, is a lot of the times you can kind of fudge a little bit. But I have finished this color, this like edge color. It's also in every single plant. And I've started adding in this lighter contrast green and obviously some reds, because sometimes you just want to put in a fun color. And that is that. I've actually finished this red color. I like to do my cross stitches by color rather than by section of the cross stitch. I like to finish all of one color and then finish all of another color as much as I can. I bounced around a little bit just to keep it interesting. And yeah. So I am finished with the green. I'm finished with the bright red. I'm almost finished with the dark red. I just need to do like 2 more little sections, and then I will try to finish up the lighter green. You can see this one here has light green and dark green together. If you can see the difference in those 2 colors, they look really similar on camera. But that's what I've done. I've done quite a bit since you've seen it last, that's for sure. But I'm gonna try to finish it this season. Let me get it stuck back to my maker's board over here. Acquisitions. I'm gonna have to hurry through this last bit because it has been half an hour and I need to call my stepmom back. Acquisitions. The most exciting acquisition is probably a sock set. This is a sock set that I had originally forgotten that I didn't show you, but I had to order from the Tiny Human Knits Muka collection, the Alphonse Muka collection. One of the colors really spoke to me, so I went ahead and ordered the sock set. I ordered the 50-gram one, and this is it's the beer one. I'm not gonna try to pronounce the name of it either, but this is the sock set. Oh, look at it. It's so beautiful. Oh, and it's so soft. I love her yarn so much. That's the only yarn acquisition I got. I did get a couple of things from work, and I also placed an order from Charmed and Dangerous. I ordered 2 progress keepers from Charmed and Dangerous. I left one downstairs on accident. It was a tiny little ghost cookie, but I did have one up here on one of my projects, so I will show this one to you. This is an apple cider, a cup of apple cider from Charmed and Dangerous. Oh, you can do it. There we go. Cup of apple cider. Look at it. It's so perfect and so cute. Oh my gosh. I love it so much. While my hand is up here, I also made a progress keeper from a charm I got at work. This is a Swarovski skull that I got at work. I found at work. And I just made a progress keeper out of it. It is a bead, so I made a head pin and attached hardware. And that's it. It's kind of heavy, so it has to go on like a sturdy project, but it's very cute. So those are my new progress keepers. And then I did pick up a few little like fabric bits from work just because I have a problem. I plan on making a couple of larger bags, and I think I'm going to be patchworking them. So I've been picking up like scraps of fabric and just like bits. We sell fabric samples at work, so I've been picking up samples to use in patchwork bags, and I picked up a couple this past week. We got this really beautiful, just classic deep burgundy velvet in that I thought would be a lovely textural contrast in a bag. It is really nice, and I think it's like velvet. It's like real velvet, not just like a velour, and it's so soft. And then I got a couple of just quilting cottons. I got, what is in this one? There's like paper in this one. Oh, no, it's not paper. It's like a piece of interfacing or something. I mean, it is paper, but anyways. I got a couple of little bits of this really cute clover pattern. It's got little white and pink clover flowers. Super cute. And then this one that has berries and flowers all over it. Also super pretty. And then the last one is this really fun, like arts and crafts style lotus pattern. Oh no, it's really pretty. Gorgeous. And I have enough of this to make its own little bag if I want to, I think. So yeah, those are just the little bits I got from work. If you have, I highly recommend taking a look online and seeing if you have a reuse store near you or a used fabric type store, and getting fabric there. Like, I always recommend reuse anyways, but fabric is amazing. Like, there's always bits that people can't use, or everyone's taste is different. Like, fabric is the most incredible thing. It's definitely my biggest temptation at work, and it is just so amazing how much you can get for so little at a reuse store. I know the Salvation Army does a big fabric sale every so often, twice a year maybe. And I know Salvation Armies are everywhere, so definitely check out your Salvation Army, see when they're doing their big fabric sale, because that is a wild ride. I know that you can definitely do that most places, and I will try to link below. There is a blog online that we found that has a list of creative reuse stores by state. So I will try to link that down below so that you, wherever you are, maybe you can find a creative reuse store near you and check it out, because it is a wonderful alternative to buying new fabric, especially if you make a lot of small things like bags. And it's just, and you get interesting fabrics and vintage fabrics, and it's really nice. So I will do that. I will link that blog down below so that you can check that out. I also bought some other sewing bits, like a couple of weights for like weighing down my sewing pattern pieces, and a couple of books. But I'm not gonna show all of that today because I don't have time. Also, it would be a lot. I think you'll end up seeing my books and stuff when I do another studio tour. But I'll do a really quick life update because my studio, there's an update with it. I have officially signed up for a class. Can you believe that? I can't believe that. I was like, I'm never going back to school. I still feel like it's not real and that I'm not really going back to school because it's just like an online class. It's not, I'm not actually going to school, but I have a teacher and I have a student advisor, and that's wild. I just did it like on my phone. I just like signed up while I was sitting on the couch, and that feels fake. But I signed up for a class. If this, without giving too many details, because I'm trying to not talk about it until things are like more solid and I know what's going on. I'm just kind of like winging it and taking it one step at a time right now. But if this class leads to what I think it's gonna lead to, then we will be redoing the studio up here and making it into just a bit more of an office space. There is plenty of room in here, but it needs some cleaning, it needs some organizing, and probably needs a good trip to the donation bin, because I have lots of things in here that I've accumulated, not just yarn stuff, but also all of my art stuff. So many things. We just need to I need more shelves for this unit so that I can add some vertical storage here. There's a lot of vertical space that's not being utilized very well. Maybe buy another shelving unit or a bookcase or something. Organize this guy. Maybe do a little bit of work on here. It really just needs some organization in here and arranging so that we can fit perhaps 2 desks comfortably, to have 2 computer setups so that we can have this as a joint office space for me and Brad. That's exciting. Life changes. I will tell you more about that though when the time comes. For now, I'm just working a lot. I do miss being able to podcast every week. That was lovely. But for now, we get it when we get it, and I will try to edit and upload this one in a timely manner. And thanks so much for joining me today. Talk to me in the comments below. Let me know what you're working on. I want to know. Let's chat. I will put an updated link to the Discord server in the description box as well, so you can join us over on Discord, where we chat much more regularly. And I will see y'all next time.